Hi there. Today we are going to look at a function problem, and we have a function. If f of x equals x squared minus 3x plus 2, find f of a plus 1 minus f of a. So here's the solution to this problem. You are given a function f of x equals x squared minus 3x plus 2, and you are comparing it to these functions. So if we compare it to this first function, this is f of a plus 1. And in that case, this is f of x and this is f of a plus 1. If we are comparing this function to this function, then we are having that x, which is in this bracket, will be equal to a plus 1 in that bracket. So we are going to substitute for x. So we're going to add a plus 1 inside this bracket to have this kind of function. So putting x as a plus 1 in this function, we're going to have f of a plus 1, that is for your x, equals, so anywhere you see x, it is a plus 1. So you're going to have a plus 1 in this x all squared minus 3 into a plus 1 for this x plus 2. So we're going to have that f of a plus 1 equals, now we're going to open this bracket. Now we're going to open this bracket. This is a plus 1 multiplied by a plus 1, that is a plus 1 raised to the power of 2. We're going to have a plus 1 raised to the power of 2 is the same thing as a plus 1 times a plus 1, 2 times, that is 2 degree. So we're going to have minus 3 into a plus 1 plus 2. So f of a plus 1 equals, now we have a two product. The way we multiply this kind of product is to take each item in the first bracket and distribute it to the second bracket. Take the first item a and distribute it to this. We're going to have a times a plus 1. Then the next one is plus 1 distributed to this, a plus 1. Now we're going to have minus 3 a plus 1 plus 2, this. So we're going to, we continue. F of a plus 1 equals, a times a is a squared. A times 1 is plus a. Plus 1 times a is a. Plus 1 times 1 is 1. Now 3 times a, this is minus 3 times a is minus 3a. Minus 3 times plus 1 is minus 3. Then plus 2. So we're going to have f of a plus 1 equals a squared. This is a plus a, that is 2a. A plus a, we have 2a here, plus 1 minus 3a minus 3 plus 2, that is minus 1. So we're going to have a squared. Now 2a minus 3a, we're going to have minus a. The 1 minus 1 is 0. So f of a plus 1 equals a squared minus a. So we have find the value for this. The next one is to find the value for this and then subtract. So given that f of x equals x squared minus 3x plus 2, then f of a means taking x as a. So for f of a, given that f of x equals x squared minus 3x plus 2, we have that x equals a comparison. And then anywhere you see x, you put a. So f of a equals, this is x, a squared minus this is x, 3a, this is plus 2. So we have our f of a, and we also have our f of a plus 1. Now, they said find f of a plus 1 minus f of a. So we're going to have f of a plus 1 minus f of a. So we're going to have f of a plus 1 minus f of a equals this value, a squared minus a, that is f of a plus 1 minus f of a is a squared minus 3a plus 2. So do the subtraction, we have this is equals to, now a squared minus a. Now this is a minus approaching a squared minus 3a plus 2. In a bracket, we have that, suppose you have 1 minus 2 plus 5. This minus will enter this bracket, and we're going to have this minus will be here, that is minus 2. This minus will also enter here, that is minus 5. Now if we have 1 minus 2 minus 5, this minus will enter the bracket. We'll now have 1 minus 2, and minus times minus is plus, so it's going to be plus 5. That is how it's going to be done here. So minus this is going to be minus a squared, then minus minus, that is plus 3a, then minus plus, that is minus 2. So we have a squared minus a squared, that is, it will cancel out. Then minus a plus 3a, you're going to have 2a. You owe a single thing.